Hello everybody, welcome back to this next segment of cognitive behavioural therapy. What I'm going to be doing now is sharing with you a basic intervention which is very effective for helping people to come to their own conclusions and resolve some of their own problems. So it's called problem solving. Problem solving is very effective. It makes a big difference. Problem solving is a cognitive intervention. It helps people to get the cognitions working and to make rational and logical decisions. So the way we use the way we use problem solving is, first of all, we identify what the problem is. So we look at when we're thinking of what the problem is. So what is it? When is it a problem? Where is it a problem? And how is it a problem? So if we look at all them four and answer them questions, that will generally give us our problem. And is there anybody else that impacts on that, making that a problem as well? So ask yourself then questions: what, where, when, and how. So the open questions which you're asking yourself to help you define and identify exactly what the problem is. And once you've got your problem, be very specific with your problem. Once you've got the problem, then we can set in motion our next step, which is the step 2, which is looking and brainstorming and looking for possible solutions to the problem. So you would then brainstorm, you would look for solutions, you would write them down rough, and then once you're happy with a few of the solutions that you've got, think of the solutions as, yeah, you might use it, but it's not, you're not saying that's what you're going to definitely use straight away. So you're just putting things out there, you're just brainstorming at first. Once you've got your solutions down, what you then do is get each solution, and then we evaluate the solution. We evaluate it in terms of the strengths and weaknesses of each solution, or pros and cons, whichever you want to call it. So what are the pros of that solution and what are the weaknesses of that solution? We weigh it up and we put them all in there, we list them down. And then we take the next solution, we do exactly the same with that as well, until we've evaluated and we've looked at the pros and cons of each chosen solution. Then once you've evaluated your chosen solution, then you move to the next step. And in the next step, that is where you pick the best solution based on your evaluation. So then what you do is you pick the best solution based on your evaluation. And how you do that is you look at how many pros you've got for each solution and how many weaknesses. And obviously the one that has the most pros and the least weaknesses would be the chosen solution. That seems to be the most rational and logical path to take. However, sometimes you may get a problem, and some of the solutions might be very similar in the fact that they have the same amount of solutions, same amount of pros and same amount of weaknesses. And then if that's the case, what I always do is I fine tune a little bit more and I rate each of them strengths out of a scale of 0 to 10 of how important they are. And the same with the weaknesses as well, how much of a weakness they are out of a scale of 0 to 10. And then that way you can sort of weigh it up, and then you get a score based on that as well. So that gives you more of an idea of which solution is the best one to go with. Then the next step, once you've chosen your solution, is you move on to putting that into practice. So this is where the next part, another intervention, which is called goal planning, comes into force. So goal planning and problem solving work hand in hand. Within one of my models that I designed for weight reduction, is I would first of all problem solve, then I would goal set, and then I would do my exercise regime and go through all of that, and then I would do my food management as well. So that was one of the models that I used, but I always used the top two as the most important problem solving and goal setting. So from that, once you've planned out what your solution is, you plan in the solution, and then by planning it, that's also cognitive and getting that cognitive part of the brain working as well. And then you put that into practice. The thing with the problem solving is you set a date to review. The same with goals anyway. You set a review date of when you're going to evaluate. When you're going to review the progress that you've made. So that's what you do. That's the basics of problem solving. And like I say, that is something that you can practice. Use a very small problem that you have of your own first of all. So it's the first step is identifying the problem. The second step is brainstorming the solutions to the problem. The third step is weighing up the pros and cons of each solution. The fourth step is planning out how you're going to apply that solution. And then the fifth step is basically reviewing that solution as well. So that is the process with problem solving. And like I say, it does lead on to goal setting. And at some point, I'll be doing a live cast around goal setting. You can also find on one of my other programs, different to this cognitive behavioral one, I am doing a weight reduction live program at the moment where I'm losing weight myself using my own program. You can register for that. If you would like to register for that, please email us and I'll send you the details of how you can register for that. And I go through problem solving and goal setting in much more detail. And I use problem solving on myself and I use goal setting on myself as well. So if you want to learn more about that, just email me and I'll send you out the link to the weight reduction course. Again, that's a free course that you can watch. And then at some point in the near future, in about 7 weeks' time, you'll be able to see how much weight I've actually lost using my program. And then I'll be offering that program out to people if they want to engage in it as a weight reduction program, or whether they just want to learn how to do it so then they can work with clients using that same program. So again, I thank you for attending this live webcast around cognitive behavioral therapy, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next live cast. I've not set a date yet, but as soon as I've set a date, I will be posting it online and you'll know exactly when it is, and I'll see you in the next live cast. So thank you for coming along today, and I'll see you then. Thank you and goodbye.